experts who knows how to deal with your legal matters, ensuring your desired results. Our team of lawyers have over 40 years experience dealing with immigration law, family law, civil litigation, criminal litigation, employment law, housing, and welfare benefit. At KACE Law Solicitors, we provide professional legal services with enthusiasm and passion. To find out about how we can help you, please call us today on 020-782-0164 and 0. Our 24 hours mobile line is 077-239-5093 and 0. For more information, email us on info@caselawsolicitors.co.uk or log on to our website at www.caselawsolicitors.co.uk. Our office is located at 81 Lothian Road, London, SW9 6TS. Contact us today and you will be glad you did. At KACE Law Solicitors, your peace is our priority.
Infinity Great Achievers International Foundation has, in the past 2 years, been working in Nigeria, providing free vocational training to the Nigerian youths and young adults, helping them to acquire skills that enable their earning capacity, by so doing preventing poverty. We also provide health and social care for less privileged women, widows and the elderly. Our next major project is centered around homeless children living on the streets as well as orphans in Nigeria. These children are prone to illnesses, malnourishment, drug abuse, crime, accidents, and so on, and are also at risk of being trafficked. Some are orphans and there are an estimated 8.6 million orphan children in Nigeria. Our charitable organization recently secured a facility in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, which we intend to turn into a center for these vulnerable children as well as orphans. But this facility needs a high level of renovation and equipment to make it fit for purpose. With us, these children would have access to accommodation, education, vocational training, healthcare, nourishing food, daily care and the opportunity of a better life. Please, join us in making this facility a center of excellence for these vulnerable children in Nigeria. Support us, and let's together be the change we want.
A very good evening and thanks for joining us tonight on yet another lovely episode of your one and only program Legal Point by KACE Law Solicitors. How are you doing? I want to trust you're doing great and staying safe. Well, it's really cold, so please, well, for those of us who are here in the United Kingdom, keep warm and stay safe. Don't forget, for all your legal matters, immigration, family law, housing law, civil and criminal litigation, welfare and benefits, and for all your queries on post-Brexit regarding your status or business-wise, get in touch with us at KACE Law Solicitors. Our experts are ready to attend to you 24/7, work with you, help you achieve your desired result. Our website is www.caselawsolicitors.co.uk. Our 24/7 mobile line is there on the screen. Office address is there. Please get in touch with us. For all your post-Brexit inquiries, we are really ready to help. Get in touch with us and you'll be glad you did. Tonight, we'll be doing what we've been doing since the beginning of this season, looking at how the pandemic has affected our lives, how it's affecting our daily lives. And tonight we'll be looking at how the pandemic is affecting, or the effect it's having on young children, little children, pregnant women and nursing mothers. It is no news that we have lost over 60,000 souls here in the United Kingdom to COVID, and over 1 million people across the globe lost to COVID. Our thoughts and our prayers are with all the bereaved families. I pray that the Lord will comfort each and every one of them. Having said that, we have welcomed thousands of children in this serious, challenging periods to the world as well. Tonight, we'll be looking at the effect of the pandemic on newborns, their mothers, and on pregnant women. It is not the best of times to go to the hospital. People are scared to want to go visit the hospital for whatsoever reason. Well, let me leave the job to the person who can do it best tonight. My guest, Ngozi. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's an honor having you on Legal Point.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Who is Ngozi? You want our our viewers to meet you.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Ngozi Ojimba.
Ngozi Ojimba. I was trying to, make sure I didn't get the pronunciation wrong.
Of course, of course.
Ngozi Ojimba is my guest tonight. Who is Ngozi Ojimba? What do you do?
Yes. So I am a highly specialist paediatric dietitian. And what that means is that I work with children who have special needs. So I work within a hospital setting. Outside of my job, I'm very passionate around food, health, and also just making sure people know about good nutrition.
So you work with children?
Yes,
that's your major?
That's my job at the moment, yeah.
Oh, okay. And can you tell us how this career job started for you?
Yeah, so before I started working with children, neonates, which is what I'm doing at the moment, I worked in paediatrics, so general paediatrics.
Okay.
And that's from ages 0 to 16. Okay.
Wow.
Prior to that, I actually worked with adults, so I've done the whole spectrum.
Oh, wow.
And started working as a dietitian from about 2014.
Wow.
So I've been a registered dietitian since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if there is a young boy, young girl out there thinking, I want to be like Ngozi, I want to do what Ngozi is doing, how do they go about that?
Yeah. So what I did, I was very fortunate that we had very good careers advisors in my school when I was a school child. And they explained with the passions that I had shown, the good sort of areas to go into were nutrition or dietetics. At the time, I didn't really know the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian.
Wow.
So I decided to shadow in both areas to get a feel of it. So I shadowed a nutritionist in a gym, and then I also shadowed a dietitian in a hospital. And when I was in the hospital, I got to see just how caring they were to the members of the public and even the patients. And it was actually a week that was called Dietitians Week. Wow. So it's a week where they focus on everything dietitians do and highlight what they do in the hospital. And they had a guest speaker there, Tam Fry from the World Health Organization.
Wow.
And he was talking about monitoring babies and how to measure them. And I was just very intrigued. I was very interested. And that kind of spurred me on to look into how to actually study it. There is an organisation called the British Dietetic Association. And anybody who's interested, particularly in this country, in becoming a dietitian, I would recommend looking on their website. They have all the universities that are accredited and will allow you to work as a registered dietitian if you do the course.
So why the passion for babies?
I just love babies. They're very cute, and I love fattening them up. So in my job, it's all the
you love getting them big.
Yeah, which you think is different to what a dietitian would do, but for babies, it's complete opposite. And where I work, a lot of the time it's premature infants as well, so then they don't have that fatty deposits that most babies have. So we are trying to fatten them up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like I said during my intro, this period is not a time when people really want to go to the hospital.
That's true.
You are highly experienced in consulting and recommending the best care for children, for premature children. What would you say are the challenges you are facing during the pandemic, especially caring for these young ones, and the challenges you're facing with their mothers? So many women out there are even pregnant and they have not seen or been attended to by any doctor or any medical personnel for months because of the anxiety and the fear of COVID is there. I don't want to go to the hospital. So how have you been managing with the children, with the mothers, with pregnant women?
It was quite a struggle in the beginning. I would say that just because we had to learn a whole new way of working. With my job and what I do, it's very much talking to people face to face, building that rapport, that sort of relationship. And it was very difficult during the height of the pandemic because they wanted to reduce the amount of people in the hospital, the amount of contact. And what that meant actually was that a lot of the time some of us had to work from home. So doing the job from home was quite difficult. You weren't actually seeing the babies, you weren't necessarily seeing the mothers face to face, and so building that relationship took more time. Now it's a little bit better because we have the flexibility of being able to do telephone consultations, but then also we are bringing people into the hospital too. I will say for those mothers that are anxious, there is a lot of stuff going on in the hospitals at the moment in terms of helping to protect people from COVID. We follow all the regulations in terms of mask wearing in the hospital, having the right distancing, and they do only at the moment allow for, on the neonatal ward, the parents to visit, so you're not having anyone else coming and visiting. But I think it's very important if you have a baby and you need care that you're getting access to that.
Getting access to care. And for pregnant women who couldn't go into the hospital for antenatal, or what do you call it, sessions, they are very
dietetic sessions.
They are very anxious. The fear of seeking help is there. What would be your word for them? Words for them tonight? Encouraging them to,
What I would say is a lot of services have opened up again. So the health visitors are there, and they should be first point of call for mothers who have had their babies and who are seeking support. For ones that haven't, again, the GP, they have opened up now as well. And there's also, in instances where you are very concerned, you can go through sort of 111 as well. I will say the GP is the best point of call because they can signpost to specific services within your area. So every area will have different services that help them. So it's very important that you go through your local services. You can also find information through sort of parent groups as well. So I know for the parents on our unit, we have support groups for them, so they can form bonds with each other as well, outside of the sort of people who work there, if you like, seeing it from another perspective for other parents. And also there are services such as psychotherapy, psychologists as well. We have those in our unit as well that help mothers who might be feeling quite anxious.
Okay. Someone sent in a text for you. Let me read that quickly before we carry on tonight with the questions we have for you. Someone said, I am really interested in this role. How many years does it take to qualify once you have studied your degree? Thank you, Helen.
Okay. Thank you, Helen, for that question. Yes. So it depends what degree you do, because there's quite a few avenues to get into being a dietitian. So you can do it as a undergrad, or you can do it as a postgrad degree, which involves doing a master's or a postgrad diploma. Through the course you will do some hands-on actual physical training, where you will be in a hospital or in the community or other settings where you might work as a dietitian, and usually you'll have at least three placements. So it can take, depending on how long the course is, 4 years if it's an undergraduate course, or if you're doing it as a postgrad, you have to remember how long it takes you to do your undergrad course plus the postgrad, which could be anywhere from a year to 2 years.
Okay, so altogether you're looking at about 4 or 5 years? 4
or 5 years, yes. And then you would need to get registered with the body. So there's HCPC, which just makes sure that we're doing everything as we should, and we're giving evidence-based advice for all the information that we provide. Once you're registered, then it's just a case of finding a job, and you would go for an interview and things just like anybody else would.
Interesting. So 4 to 5 years, Ellen, and then you are qualified and helping the young people. I got another text. Some people are loving up on Ngozi tonight. So I've got a text from you from Rachel Falola. What is the difference between nutritionist and dietitian? Rachel.
Okay, so that's a very interesting question, something I didn't know the answer to, and
when you began your journey.
No, I didn't know the answer at all, and I had to really think about what. That was why I did the shadowing as well in both areas to try and work out the differences. What I would say is with a nutritionist, actually anybody can call themselves a nutritionist. So you're not under a regulatory body, you're not held to any standards. I did one time, I was out and I met someone who said they were a nutritionist, and at that time I was a nutritionist because I'd done my nutrition degree and hadn't yet done my dietetics degree. And I was like, oh yes, where did you study? And he said, oh, I did a Groupon course. So there's no regulation for nutrition.
Okay.
And so what that means
anybody can become a nutritionist.
Anybody can become a nutritionist, but it also then means the information that you get isn't necessarily based on scientific evidence, whereas as a dietitian we have to go through this rigorous process. You have to be on this registered body, which means that you have to uphold standards, and you can't be giving information that's false. So everything that we tell you is stuff that is has been researched and it is evidence-based.
So it's more of a professional and a skill. Dietitian is someone who acquires skill.
Yes. I mean, you can't work as a dietitian without being, as I said, registered, and you wouldn't be able to work in a hospital as a nutritionist. They do have some nutritionists, but they wouldn't be doing the sort of role you would expect a nutritionist to do in a hospital. That would be a dietitian.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Rachel. I'm going to come back to women, nursing mothers, women who just delivered or gave birth to children. You know, there's this thing called postnatal depression.
Yes,
especially at this period where contacts, face-to-face contacts are limited. Toddler groups are no longer, because I remember when I had my last baby in this country, you have the access to go to toddler groups. So there is nothing like that at this period because of the pandemic the world is facing. So what would be your advice for women suffering from postnatal depression who are not able to care for their young ones because of their condition? What help is out there? There are thousands of people in this category are there. So what's your word for them tonight?
For those people, I understand it's a very trying time, and especially with the COVID as well, it's going to be even more trying, and I understand that you need that support. I would still say that if they're mothers who've had the baby, that the health visitor should be the first point of call, okay? And the health visitors are going out now. They are going to visit. They're doing home visits. They have centres open as well. So the only things really that wouldn't be open at the moment maybe would have been like the soft play related to the government guidance as to things you can do. But services, NHS services are still open and they are running, and so all those support services that would have been open to those mothers should still be open. That includes if they were going to support groups with their condition, or if they were requiring a one-on-one therapy, that should still be available.
Okay, so with especially for premature children, how delicate is their care? What should mothers of premature babies watch out for in caring for these young ones?
Yes, so we wouldn't let the preemie babies go home without feeling that the parents were ready and they felt comfortable looking after their babies. Whilst they're on the unit, of course parents can ask any questions that they have of the care of their babies, and we always encourage them to get as involved as they can with the care, even while the babies are within the unit. And that means being there, being present, because babies thrive with being around their parents. A lot of evidence have shown that babies who hear their parents' voice, have touch, they do better than ones who do not. So it's very important that the parents are still going in and spending time with the baby on the unit, and if they have any questions, to ask the team that are there, that are looking after the baby. And that wouldn't just be dietitian. Usually these babies will have a lot of support as required. They might have speech and language, they might have physiotherapy, they might have occupational therapy, and as I mentioned, we have psychology there as well. So they would get a whole care system usually.
Okay, so post-hospital care, how should parents, mothers care for premature, especially premature babies?
Yes. So
food-wise, what would you recommend?
Food-wise, so we always recommend as a starting breast milk. Okay, that's the same for a baby who's born premature and a baby who's born at term. Okay, and if the baby does require any extra support on top of that, they would have the input of a dietitian usually. Okay, and then that's where they might need a bit of extra support in terms of something made specific for a premature infant to help with their nutrition. But most of the time, mothers who are breastfeeding, we would recommend they keep doing that, and they can also top up with their own express breast milk as well. There are also breastfeeding consultants and people out there who can help support if there's any issues in terms of the breastfeeding.
So how long should breastfeeding go for?
So the recommendations from the World Health Organization is that mothers should be breastfeeding till 2 years of age.
Remember, it's a very busy world.
That's not exclusively.
You have so many working moms.
Just some form of breast milk, ideally, they say up to 2 years. So before the
2 years, breastfeeding for 2 years.
Yes. So the advice is exclusively to 6 months, and then with food and solids, obviously after that point. But understandably, we have to work with mothers and their time and what they're able to do. So if mothers do feel that that's not what they can do, then obviously there are other things out there that they can use. But we do support mothers who want to breastfeed and do try and promote that. What I will mention is that the UK has one of the lowest breastfeeding rates in the whole world.
Tell me about it.
So yeah, not necessarily something to be proud of.
I know. Nothing to be proud of. I'm proud of at all, but it is a busy world out here, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. For women who just had premature babies and are scared, will this child survive? Will I be able to go home with this kid? What is the survival rate of premature babies?
Yes.
And what will be your words of encouragement for women in this category tonight?
Yes. So the specific survival rate I won't be able to tell you off the top of my head because I don't have that figure out with me.
Okay.
And I don't want to give you false information. But what I would say is that as the years have gone on, premature infants are surviving much, much longer. And we are helping babies even earlier. So where I work, we will help babies from as early as 22 weeks.
Wow.
Of age, and in the past you wouldn't have, below 20 through below 24. So it's really moving, and that just shows what science has done and how people have progressed in terms of their knowledge of the care for premature infants.
Wow. Yeah. It's a honor having you on this show tonight. Our time is going. What would you say to single ladies, married women, who want to... questions are coming in for you. As a mother, let's take this one quickly. Do we have the time? Let's see. Is there a question? As a mother of a premature baby in the past, I find my child is a fussy eater.
Okay.
A fussy eater. Is this a characteristics of a premature baby? And if it is not, how can I encourage my child now, 5, to eat more?
Okay. So I will start by saying babies who are born premature, because of the time difference, sometimes when they're weaned with solids can be different, and it could mean that they're weaned a little bit later. And we do always say that there's sort of a window of opportunity for getting as many new foods into your baby to prevent the fussiness in the first sort of up to 9 months really of age. Okay, and that can be altered a little bit with babies who are born premature because we use corrected ages, which isn't necessarily the actual age of the baby. Have I lost you?
No, you've not. I'm a mother too. Okay. Thank you so much, Ngozi. We've got to go tonight. What will be your signing word for people? You love children.
Yeah.
You love to look after them. Are you saying make more babies for us?
Why not? Why not? What I would just say is that the support is out there for you, and if you do have a baby or you're thinking about having a baby and you're anxious about having to go into hospital, will the support be there for you? It is. The services are open in the hospitals at the moment.
Fantastic.
And we do encourage parents to come to have their appointments. So please, if you do have a child who needs to go to appointments, don't feel you can't come to the hospital.
Thank you so much for coming on Legal Point tonight. It's been very informative, educating, whatever English you call it. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope all your questions were properly answered, and if you still need more answers, you can get in touch with me. My mobile number is there, the one you're sending questions to. I will surely ensure that you get in touch with Ngozi, and she'll be able to answer your question. Till I see you, same time, same station next week. Be good and stay safe. Good night. God bless. Bye. Thanks for coming once again.
Thinking
Good
of
to
a
see you.
well-experienced solicitor to deal with your legal matters? Think KACE Law Solicitors. We are a group of experts who knows how to deal with your legal matters, ensuring your desired results. Our team of lawyers have over 40 years experience dealing with immigration law, family law, civil litigation, criminal litigation, employment law, housing, and welfare benefit. At KACE Law Solicitors, we provide professional legal services with enthusiasm and passion. To find out about how we can help you, please call us today on 020-782-0164 and 0. Our 24 hours mobile lines 077-239-5093 and 0. For more information, email us on info@caselawsolicitors.co.uk or log on to our website at www.caselawsolicitors.co.uk. Our office is located at 81 Lothian Road, London, SW9 6TS. Contact us today and you will be glad you did. At KACE Law Solicitors, your peace is our priority.